Hi everyone, welcome to part 1 of our Excel tutorials. So as many of you know, one of our goals this year at Edgerton Public Library is to standardize and digitize our data management process. All staff are now encouraged to use Excel to track statistics. Excel allows for more flexibility when analyzing data and a more uniform data management process. For staff with limited experience with Excel, we've created this 6-part tutorial series detailing how to perform basic functions in Excel and get the most out of your data. So in this first tutorial, I'm going to show you how to input data into an Excel sheet and set up the auto sum feature. We're currently tracking our daily door count statistics by writing the door count number each night in the calendar and then going back and adding up each day manually at the end of the month. That's a lot of unnecessary work. To speed up the process and keep better electronic records, we're going to enter the door count into an Excel spreadsheet where we can auto-calculate and have greater flexibility with the data. So that's what I'm going to show you here today, is how to enter those statistics into the door count spreadsheet and then how to auto-sum those statistics as well. So let's start by opening Excel. So on all the library desktops, the Excel icon is going to be down here in the taskbar. You're going to simply go ahead and click on it and it'll open Excel. This is what you'll see here. So right here you can see the recent files that you've worked with. If you see your document there, you can go ahead and click on it. If you don't see it there, you can double click on Open. And then here you'll be able to open any document shared with you, anything in your OneDrive or anything on saved to the PC. So in this case, the door count document saved to the PC. So I'm going to click this PC. Then I'm going to scroll down until I see the document, and here it is. It's named Door Count 2020 EPL. So I'm going to double click on that, and that'll open our spreadsheet for us. So I created this spreadsheet for the 2020 calendar year. That's when we'll begin using this spreadsheet for door count statistics. If you look on the top here, the columns are labeled with the month. So each column represents a month, and then the rows are labeled by the day. So this column right here that says, or this cell right here that says closed, is January 1st. And of course we're closed January 1st for New Year's Day. And I've written closed in all the cells that were closed on a holiday. I've also grayed out every Sunday because of course we're closed on Sundays, so you won't be entering anything in there. And then also if we scroll down to the bottom here, I've blacked out the cells where there's not 31 or 30 days for that month. So you won't be entering anything in those cells either. Now we can scroll back up. And let's look at how to enter a number into a cell. So in order to enter a number into a cell, or any type of data you want to enter into the cell, you're going to click on the cell. So in this case, I'm going to click on cell B4 because that represents January 2nd. Now notice there's a green box around the cell that's active, so that'll let you know which cell you're in. And then I'm just going to go ahead and type in the number. So for January 2nd, it's pretty slow after the holidays in the library, so we'll say that the door count read 235. Okay, so now you can see 235 appears in the cell. It also appears up here in the formula bar. Now, to enter this number and unselect the cell, I'm going to just simply hit the Enter button. And now 235 remains in cell B4, and we've moved down to cell B5, where I could enter another number. And that's it. That's how you enter a number into a cell. That's what we'll be doing every night. The closing library staff member will go ahead and enter the door count for that day into the Excel sheet. And now you know how to do that. So next, let's look at how to auto-calculate a sum and an average. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in the stats, some make-believe stats for the rest of January so that we have something to work with here. And I am just, ooh, that's a lot of people, using the down arrow after I type in the number to move down to the next cell. So that's another option as well. You can use the down arrow on your keyboard to go down into the next cell. You don't have to hit enter. Alright, so now I have come down to the total box here on the bottom, which is where I want the total, the sum of all these cells to appear. Alright, so to auto-calculate the total for January, you're going to select the cells you want to auto-calculate by clicking on the top cell and then dragging down. So I'm going to scroll up here to the top. I'm going to select cell B3 here, which is January 1st, and it's okay that it has letters in it instead of numbers. It's not going to mess anything up with my calculation. And then I am still selecting and dragging. So I'm dragging down, down, down so that all of these cells are in the green box, and they're also grayed out there so you can tell they're selected. And I'm going to stop at cell B33 here, so January 31st, and I'm going to let go of my mouse, and you can see those cells are still selected. To sum the selected cells, now you're going to find the auto sum button in the ribbon up top. So we're going to move all the way up here in the top right hand corner and see it says auto sum. So you can click this button and it'll auto sum the numbers, but I also want to point out you can click this little down arrow there next to auto sum and it'll give you some other options. So you can also get the average of those numbers. You can count the numbers to see how many rows you have there. You can find the maximum, the minimum, and then there's even more functions if you click the more functions button there. Alright, but today we're just looking for the sum, so we're going to go up here and I'm going to click sum. Alright, now let's scroll down, and there we can see the sum for all of those rows, the entire column is here in the total box. So 5,722 is our sum. Now, of course, as many of you know, this is not the sum for the not the total number of people that have come into the library for January. Our door counter registers people as they come in and as they walk out. So in order to find the true number of people, patrons who have come to the library in January, we're going to have to divide this number here by 2. And it's very easy to divide this number by 2 within Excel. So what we're going to do is we're going to select cell B34 here, the total, and then we're going to move up to the formula bar up top. And here you can see it shows the formula for how we got to the total. So I'm going to click in there and it'll show you that the total, so cell B34 equals the sum of cells B4 to B33. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this formula in order to divide that sum by 2. So I've selected in the formula bar, and now I'm going to do a / and type in 2. So now we have the total will equal the sum of cells B4 to B33 divided by 2. And I'm going to click enter. And now if you look down at the total, you're going to see that it's been divided by 2. So the total number of visitors to the Edgerton Public Library for January was 2,861. And look at how easy that was. So with just a few clicks, we've recorded the door count for each day and calculated the total amount of visitors for January by using the AutoSum feature and editing the formula in the formula bar. Now, one more thing, don't forget to go up and click Save. All right, so you can use this little icon here, the little floppy disk icon, to save, and then it's safe to X out of your document. So now you know how to enter data into an Excel spreadsheet, AutoSum the data, and edit the formula in the formula bar. You can use your new skills to enter the daily door count and to set up a spreadsheet for your own data needs in areas like collection management and programming. In the next tutorial, we'll cover how to create graphs and charts from your data in Excel. As always, please contact me at katie.richmond@als.lib.wi.us with any questions or leave a comment below this video. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in part 2 of our Excel tutorials.